What is going on, everyone? How are you guys doing today? What I have for you today in this video is pretty much a two-part video where I'm going to be doing an unboxing of the product that I'm going to show you guys in just about a minute, along with the other half being a full review of the product after I use it for a certain amount of time. You probably can already see by the title of this video, and let's go ahead and take that out of the packaging, which also involves my iPhone SE. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see what we have in this package and if the title becomes true. Alright, and just by taking a quick look, we got a box in there. Looks slightly damaged from shipping, but it's a regular cardboard box. Nothing else in the packaging here. Let's go ahead and just set that off to the side. And here we have it. As you can see, it is the iPhone 5 or the 5S or the SE Armorbox Dual Layer Full Body Protective Case. It doesn't say the whole title over here, but this is a case made by, as you can see right there, i-blason. But this is basically another case by i-blason, and if you guys have been subscribed to my channel for a while, you'll know that I have two awesome cases from i-blason for my Samsung Galaxy Note 4 and my Galaxy Note 8, and those are great cases. I'm hoping to have the same experience with the Armorbox for the iPhone SE. So just gonna open the flap right here. Alright, there's the case. Looks like it's sitting on top of some foam here, or the foam sitting on top of it. Let's go ahead and pull that out. Okay, so they put everything in the bag right here. Nice. Loyalty discount 10% off. So this is a little card for me. It has a little code on the back. That's awesome. I ordered this directly from i-blason themselves. The case was originally running for $25 at the time. However, I had a discount code which took $7.50 off, plus with tax, you know, I only paid almost 20 bucks. That's a good deal. I didn't order directly from Amazon because they didn't have the colors that I wanted in regards to this specific case. I wanted the green color. In fact, let's go ahead and take it out to see what that looks like. So there's your plastic foam right there that holds the case together with a little holster for your belt. If you wanted to attach this onto your belt, you got a little belt clip right here. And because the Amazon didn't have the color I wanted, I was like, you know, let me just go to the actual website because it was only $2 more on i-blason's website. I was like, yeah, let's go ahead and just order through them directly. Sure enough, I got a coupon code and was able to get some more money off, so that's pretty neat. But here is the case right here, and it's inside this holster. Let's go ahead and pop it out. So you just basically lift up and you pull the case apart. And that's the belt clip over here. It has this very nice soft felt to it. It's probably to keep the screen clean, but it definitely has a soft feel to it. And then of course the rest is plastic. And I don't know, I thought this swivel. Yeah, it swivels. And it goes on one side like that. That's very interesting. Unless if I'm just looking for trouble here, and yeah, I just broke it. Really? Yeah, I just broke that. I can't recall if people have actually reported that, but it is what it is because I'm not going to be putting this on my belt anyway, since it's not my daily phone. So we'll just go ahead and put that off to the side for now. And let's take a look at the actual case itself. Let's go ahead and peel this protector off. Like so. And let's go ahead and open this up. So we just want to open up the port covers here. And we want to take the outer part off, which is a silicone bumper, but on the bottom here is completely plastic. Yep, so we want to try to lift this over. Just want to be careful and not break anything else. Come on. i-blason does have very tight form-fitting products. What's very interesting is they don't even include instructions on how to go about taking this off. Very interesting. Sorry, just taking it off camera just to see if it's because of the camera angle. Alright, so I kind of put this corner up against my chest and then try to pull it out while one side is holding. But I'm going to figure out the proper way to take this off, because there's a lot of clips and corners on this plastic piece right here that really keeps it shut in one place. So here is the foam padding inside, and when you take this off, you see a protective screen inside, just like my i-blason Aries bumper case for the Samsung Galaxy Note 8. So let's go ahead and peel this inner layer off, and we'll just stick that over here for now. And if we take a look on the inside, as you can see, it has a rubber feel to it, and it has this very cool looking design right here. It is rubber, but it is also submerged onto a plastic material. Submerged is probably the wrong word for it, but it's on the plastic piece itself right here, so that you get not only the shock protection, but the nice finish on the outside as well. Doesn't really feel like a matte finish, almost like a glossy finish, but as you can see, it is not glossy at all. There's your i-blason logo right there. This is a very cool color right here. Let me go ahead and install my iPhone SE. So the way you want to install this is you want to line up the button side first, which is over here, and I already have this phone cleaned out. In fact, before I put it on here, let me just clean this off just to make sure we don't have any dust. Okay, and just gonna give my phone another wipe down. There it is. So let's go ahead and put the button sides in first, and I'm just hoping when I push this down it doesn't scratch the side over here. So we're just going to take it, lift it up as much as we can. That's going to be a tight fit, so you really want to take your time with this. In fact, I'm just going to lay it flat on the table. Good, we got one corner in, and I'm curious to see if my stainless steel got scratched or not. And that is a very tight form-fitting case. except it might be lifting a little bit of my back protector over here. However, this iPhone is going to live inside of a case most of the time. I don't plan on taking this out all the time, but I still want to protect my product, and I know that for me to put the sides on from the Skynomi kit, it is going to bunch it up. So I just happen to lift one side over here. It doesn't look like it's scratchy yet, so I'm just going to let it go the way it is for now. But here we go. So we got the iPhone into the first part, and let's go ahead and drop the iPhone in. Actually, I'm going to do the same process I did before. A little bit of getting the bottom in first, but also the button sides first in. And we're going to put this in like so. And this part is really now it's finally lined up. Boy, that was tough getting this case on. And just gonna massage it into place here because it is a little bit uneven. Alright, there it is. We have the i-blason Armorbox Dual Layer Case on the iPhone SE right here, and as you can see, it is thick. Here it is compared to my Switch Easy Tones case. By far, it's almost twice as thick, as you can see. But let's go ahead and take a look around the iPhone itself. At the top, you have a cutout for your front-facing camera and your speaker for whenever you're on a call. You have an opening for your home button right here, and if you notice, because that it is raised a little, Touch ID may or may not work all the way due to how deep it is and how synced down your finger is going to need to be in to access Touch ID. If we look at the top right here, you have your cover for the sleep wake button, so if you were to lock it, it is very sensitive. I mean, if you can hear it, it's very sensitive. It's not hard to push. On the left side of the case, you have a cover for your vibrate switch right here, and I can get to it very easily. Vibrate on, vibrate off. Cool. Close that up. Here is your cover volume buttons right here, volume up, volume down. So we unlock it. Oh yeah, very sensitive. And if we look at the bottom right here, you have your cover for your 3.5mm headphone jack. You have a little hole right here for your microphone, and you have a cover for your lightning connector, and then you have 4 little holes for your speaker. Now on the right side, you have nothing other than your nano SIM tray, but you're not going to need to access that all the time if you do use this as your daily phone, so that's completely covered. On the back, you have a cutout for your camera and LED flash, and that is pretty much it. So this case is very protective, as you can see. The first part of this video, unfortunately, I made it longer than it's supposed to, but it's basically the unboxing and the first impressions of the case itself. If you wanted to throw this in the holster, for example, which I'm probably most likely not going to be able to use just from looking at it after breaking that piece off by accident. But to put this on the holster, they basically want you to do it with the screen in first, and then you basically just lift this, drop your phone in, and then put this on your belt. So very nice for those that don't want to put this in their pocket. This is a nice alternative right here. So stick around for the full review, and you'll see this in just about a few seconds. Alright everybody, here we are with the review portion of this case. As you can see, I have the case installed on here, and I've actually been using this for maybe a little over a month now, so I went way over the due date that I was bound to review this case. But nonetheless, just do a quick recap. So as you saw in my first impressions portion of this video slash unboxing, you saw that I had a tough time getting this case off. That was basically due to me not knowing the proper method on how to go about taking the case apart. Just wanted to show you guys how this case would be taken apart on first impressions if you weren't sure about how to go about doing so. But I finally figured it out after taking this on and off a couple times. Won't go over that later in the video. Looking at the case itself, it does have a very sleek design to it. I really do like the look of this. It looks a little bit more white on the camera, unfortunately, but in real life it does have that lime green color to it. I really do love the feel of this, and this is basically the kind of protection that I wasn't looking for initially for my iPhone SE, but after using that Switch Easy Tones case for the first couple weeks and then seeing that it just wasn't for me, that's when I realized, hey, if I'm gonna be running outside with my iPhone and using it for music, I'm gonna want something that's very protective in case if I were to drop it. And I can assure you that this provides me drop protection along with lay on the table protection as well, because obviously the screen's covered with this front faceplate and you do have that built-in screen protector as well. Now, like I said before in previous videos, I hardly drop my electronics. However, I did happen to drop my iPhone while in this case. It's like a common thing now for me to do a drop test by accident, right? But anyway, the way I dropped this case is, so I was going inside the car, wanted to take it out of my pocket and then just set it to the side for now. And upon me taking it out, it accidentally slipped out of my hand and it actually fell on the back flat like that on the ground. And this was in the parking lot, and I have not taken this case off since I did that drop because I wanted to see with you guys on camera if there's any particular damages or any parts of the iPhone coming out like it did with my Switch Easy Tone. Well, we are going to find out. The way I saw myself taking this part is obviously first take the port covers off, and there happens to be two parts of the case where it is very loose. It's down here right by your lightning connector and right here by your vibrate switch. Other than that, everywhere else it's like very hard, and it's very hard to take off. Not only that, but you gotta have like a little bit of nails in order to stick your nail in there and take the case off. Otherwise, if you have no nails, you're going to be hurting your fingers quite a bit. So to take the case off, I suggest starting from the bottom right here since it's very loose. So just try to work your way on the bottom right here, like so. And then while holding one corner somehow, which I'm going to try holding onto this right corner with my left finger, and then try to work my way on the left side over here in order to get this part off. And then I'm going to use my right index finger to try to stick this in there. As you can see, one side is fully off. Let me go ahead and work the other side here. Alright. And it's easier if you can lay your phone on a flat surface somewhere. Oops, sorry, I bumped the camera a little bit. But that's basically how you take this part off. To take the iPhone SE out, normally this part wouldn't pop out, but the way that I was going about taking this off, it caused that. But nonetheless, you basically just pop each side off by lifting up and then pulling back. Now, as you saw in my first section, I was trying to take it off where this side would not be touching the side of the iPhone. But after taking it off a couple times, I decided to let that be, because while it is rubbing up against the iPhone, it's not scratching it. And just upon quick inspection of the side of the phone, I don't see any scratches one bit. It did bunch up my back protector a little bit. That's due to how I was handling the phone and then rubbing the phone up against a certain object, but that can be fixed. All I have to do is just take it off, reapply it, and then just readjust it. I've not taken this off since that happened, but that's basically how you take the case off of the iPhone. And if we look, we don't see anything pop up over here. We do see a little bit of the screen popping up here, but that was from my Switchy Tones case. Nothing on the right side over here. Nothing at the bottom over here. You can see the dust mark that it made, but that was from the top piece of the faceplate right here. Other than that, this thing is pretty clean. Had this in and out of my pocket all the time. It does track a little bit of dust up here, but not so much dust everywhere else, just from quick inspection of the phone. So as you can see, this case provides, and if you look a little bit more within the pieces of this case, these sides right here that I'm rubbing my finger up against on, here and here, that's a matte finish. So when these two sides are touching the sides of the iPhone, that matte finish, I'm assuming, is made that way, so that way it doesn't scratch up the stainless steel, which is pretty nice. And I was a little concerned about the home button cutout, where I wouldn't be able to utilize the Touch ID sensor, especially seeing how deep it is over here. But after using it for quite a bit, I discovered that it's not an issue whatsoever. Now looking at this part over here, if you take a look on the sides right here, you have like a little gap here and here all around the case. That is so this piece over here of the faceplate sits inside that gap. That way you can confirm that you have a proper fitment of your phone inside of this case right here. I really do like this design, and I'm glad that I got this case. The only thing that I'm not too crazy about is, one, being the process of putting it on and then taking it off, of course, but I finally got used to it. Also, with just normal use, I do find that some of the rubber may be starting to come off a little bit. You can't see it on camera right now, but sometimes when I take a closer look from time to time, I feel like I kind of see a little bit of flash, but it's probably just the rubber starting to wear out and maybe it's starting to tear off of the case itself. And you'll notice too that I do have a couple wear marks right here, because you can kind of see little bits of shiny parts on the rubber itself. That's just from me putting this in and out of my pocket all the time. Another concern I have is these parts right here being very loose. As you can see, this is very flimsy compared to if you were to do the same thing over here, because you have more of the plastic material in this area versus this area and this area. One concern I have is possibly the rubber breaking if I were to keep playing around with this. Hopefully this is just very strong rubber where like I can do this all the time and not have issues with ripping the silicone, because these are the two main areas that I'm going to need in order to take the case off of my phone. Other than that, this thing is very protective, and if you were to drop this thing with your iPhone inside, 100% confirm that it is very protective and that your iPhone is safe and sound, because this is a full-blown protective case. Very similar to the Armorbox Defender series from what I've read, except some people say it's better in certain aspects. I think it's a mix between the two, where like the Armorbox Defender is better in certain things, whereas this is better in certain things. The one thing about the Defender series is that first outer layer, it's all silicone. This is a combination of plastic and silicone almost. With that, you have a very nice feel to it versus the whole entire layer being completely made out of rubber. But I think the Defender series is a little bit easier to put on if I recall correctly, but I would have to relook at that process. Looking at the iPhone, it is pristine despite the dinged up screen protector that I have, but that was from my Switchy Tones case. And let me go ahead and clean this phone up a little bit, so give me 1 sec here. Just gonna use this microfiber over here. Oops, sorry, hitting the camera here. Alright, let's get that lined up over here to hopefully make the lighting a little bit better. As you can see, iPhone is safe and sound. No cracks on the screen whatsoever. No scratches on the phone. It's a little bit hard to see due to my lighting, but as you can see, the stainless steel is in good condition right here. This is a very nice case. I really like this right here. And you know what? I have the Switchy screen protector on here and was using this at the same time. Didn't have a problem with sensitivity whatsoever, which is very neat. I'm hoping that whatever screen shield I decide to replace this one with one day, I'll get the same effect, because I don't like the look of this dinged up right here. But the good thing is, with the spots that it's in, once I put the faceplate on, I don't see it anymore. So putting this case back on, pretty straightforward. You just line up the button sides over here, like so. And to put this side on, I'm actually just gonna push on it. That's how you put the faceplate on, and no bunching up on this side right here with my back protector from Skynomi, which is a plus. And then to put this part on, I prefer to do it the bottom first because it has more of these clips over here that sits into the grooves, or the gaps I should say. So I put the bottom piece in first. Oops, hang on, this is coming off. Put the bottom piece in first, then I work the left side, and I work the top a little bit, and then you gotta massage this into place because sometimes it doesn't align properly. And then just close up the connectors and you're done. Your iPhone is fully protected. Would I recommend this case? Yes, I do, definitely, for sure. Is this for everyone? Probably not, because it's a way big of a chore to put on and off. But for me, I don't mind it because I plan to keep my iPhone within this case all the time, because this doesn't get used heavily as my Galaxy Note 8 because it's not my main phone. Of course, this is like an extra device for me. On a 1 to 5 scale, I give this a 4. The only reason why I lost that extra point was because of the process to take the case on and off, the concern I have about these rubber pieces, and then just that little bit of the rubber tearing off, because it is very easily to wear. Other than that, I do recommend you guys get this case. I'll include the purchase links within the description below, whether you want to purchase from Amazon or i-blason's website to pick your color. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys like this video, feel free to hit that like button down below. Also hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you and have a good day.